Hey everybody, I think I met most of you, Justin, Capitalist Dog on Twitter. I've been working on Shock Wallet off and on for the last few months. Kind of the culmination of a few big ideas and a little bit of a learning experience for myself. Not a developer by trade. I've historically just been an infrastructure engineer, former Microsoft employee. The world of coding is new to me. This has been a nice end-to-end project to pick up a bunch of new technologies and apply some of my infrastructure background to what my vision of what Lightning is, true peer-to-peer payments for everybody. So the Shock Wallet, built it with probably some of the same objectives most of you have in mind. Make a user experience that users are familiar with, that they're comfortable with. My iteration of that is to put it almost in the form of a social network. My mom can use Facebook. I don't think she's ever going to use Lightning unless it looks like Facebook. So that's kind of that's kind of the bar I've set for that. That also leveraged that network effect. You know, we have a large community of Bitcoin maximalists that would love to spread this if they can get their friends and family on it as easy as they can get them on a social network. I think that bodes well for onboarding users into Lightning. Integrating laps is another feature I believe will help bootstrap adoption, giving people a way to maybe earn Bitcoin with peer-to-peer commerce, Web3 type business models, snapping those right into Lightning wallets so people can just develop apps and monetize them without having to be Lightning engineers. We could have a very robust app marketplace, and snapping that into a wallet I think is a easy way to do that. One other concern was I didn't want to compromise on custody. Legal reasons, ethical reasons, designing a wallet that could be easy to use, easy to onboard, but didn't give me control of users' funds was important to me. So the wallet is a thin wallet. You can self-host with a package that I plan on putting together using LND. Install it to your laptop, something like a Casa box, other nodes, but I plan to also offer a cloud-based solution which I'll host, which I'll discuss the stack a little bit. I'm using, as I mentioned, LND. Proxmox is a virtual environment similar to VMware. It does a really good job of orchestrating Linux containers, which are similar to Docker. That Linux containers have a little bit better security and separation from the host. So that made it an ideal solution for hosting LND plus the Shock middleware that'll actually communicate with the wallet. Easiest coding stack to learn has been Node.js and React Native. Went from an iOS app. I did not have an Android app a week ago. It took me a morning to port it over to Android. So still learning React. Still learning development, but progress has gone pretty quickly as I've had time to work on it. So I'm just going to offer a quick demonstration to give you an idea what the goals are for user onboarding. I can get emulator and everything on screen. This is just the Android Studio emulator. And the shell environment. And I'm just pulling up the shell environment so you can see what LND starts ripping through when you onboard. So this is a pristine container. This is just running the Shock middleware, LND. Had our external IP not just changed. Now to reconnect all this. Reconnect. thought reconnect.
Yeah.
Do a little Linux administration here real quick. So now hopefully you should be able to see LND when we actually connect to the emulator here. Alright, so a user would create a new wall. This here is specified node IP, so this would be for, if you are hosting your own box or running a server on a laptop at home. With the cloud service, we could obviously eliminate this step. So I'll just enter my IP address. And just part of the clunkiness is this. I'm doing a keyboard on pretty. Alright, so we're going to name the wallet because the mobile app itself will be able to handle multiple wallets. Maybe you have a family wallet that's shared, maybe you have one for personal, one for business. So we can name them. And this is actually the encryption password here that you're setting on LND. So in the hosted scenario, we never have this. This is getting passed directly to LND to set the wallet encryption for the new wallet. Require a pseudo strong password. So it takes a few minutes for LND to go through its process with script, create the wallet, start downloading blocks. What the middleware is waiting for is it's waiting for the admin.macaroon to show up in its default location. Once the admin.macaroon is available, then communication with LND can begin. You'll see that now. Very shortly here, we have a recovery phrase pulled freshly from LND. To confirm that, present the user with some means of loading funds, pull a QR code if necessary. Obviously provide a little more instructions there. Then you're onboarded into the wallet. It's just some dummy data here. Plan to pull the amount in bits, translate that to fiat. Some of the other elements that plan to add, the React Native app is still in its early stages. The ability to send and request is with an out-of-band messaging right now. Very promising progress. Moving that messaging to the Lightning protocol eventually, but right now that's just done with WebSockets. All communication is done with Crypto.js. We're wrapping AES with RSA 2048 identifiers. So that way all communication is end-to-end encrypted, all identities are unique and secured by private keys. So not only allowing messaging, but this is useful for the laps as well. The laps can be identified by those keys, allowing you to whitelist them, let's say, for automatic payments, things of that nature. Plan on offering the laps as just simple web view, allowing them to be decentralized on things like IPFS. So just this pretty simple React Native Node app, I think this creates a pretty good user experience just for the average person that doesn't really care too much about behind the scenes, but can do it in good faith with them having custody of their own devices and not having to trust a third party. So that's really all I have to demo for now. I'm happy to answer any questions. Cool. Someone probably spent a lot on this mic, so I won't drop it. Yep.
Quick question. Is it just for example purposes now, or is the unit on the app always going to be bits?
That's obviously flexible. The question is it always going to be bits? There's a lot of debate whether it should be bits, whether it should be finnies, just regular Bitcoin. Bits is the number I like. Obviously, it'll let users kind of determine what the prevailing unit of account is.
Will at some point you be able to select your own unit, or will you just update?
That would be ideal, is to allow a user preference. So if you want bits, great. I think the stats are something like defaults end up getting used 90% of the time. So it's really a matter of what the default is. The preference of moving a decimal point, yeah, that'd be something I'd like to add in.
You mentioned the social aspect. Do you have the messaging built in? You mentioned a social networking aspect. So I assume there would be some kind of networking built into the wallet.
Yeah, so the messaging element of it is out of band, so it communicates. I have a WebSocket server up and hosted somewhere. So that all that really is to pass messages back and forth. They're end-to-end encrypted. It's just kind of a relay. I would like to have that eventually be within the Lightning protocol. Using it out of band right now is a good way for bootstrapping. Communication for, let's say you want to request an invoice from somebody or you want to pay them, you need an invoice. Well, if you're both running Shock, you say send money, in the background it's going, hey, I need an invoice. Invoice comes back and then you pay it. That's all transparent to the user. Anything else?
Is there any plans to integrate like things Neutrino in the future, so they wouldn't even have to be hosted using your hosted infrastructure? Or
Yeah. So actually, Neutrino is what would allow the hosting. So I can get really good density with Neutrino. We're looking at only about a 50 meg footprint of RAM for a Neutrino-based LND node. On each piece of hardware, we can have a full node to power that Neutrino.
but never a plan to actually ship Neutrino on the app itself.
Yeah, I actually have no plan for running LND on the mobile device. It's not, that hasn't been a goal of mine. I'm not sure I see the utility in a context such as this where you want to have free flow of payments inbound as well. So if we're going to bootstrap ownership where people have to receive, we want to have them have a node that's online all the time. We want to contribute to routing rather than be a burden on it. With the high density we can get with hosted LND or self-hosted LND, I just think that's probably a more sustainable objective. You know, mobile transmission is a goal for certain use cases, but I think something like this we're probably going to be on the cloud for some time. Cool.